whatever McDonald's worker. Hi guys, today I'm going to do a nice little like kind of review product recommendations video. This is a video about the foundations that I have that I would recommend for oily skin girls. For those of you who have a hard time finding either a good colour selection for your skin if you're dark skin tone, for those of you who find it hard to find mattifying foundations that are not too mattifying, or for those of you that find so many dewy foundations that just keep you real oily throughout the day. So I have some recommendations of some foundations that I love, which are my holy grail products that I hope will help you guys if you are having some problems finding foundations or anything like that to suit your skin type or to suit the kind of look that you want to do throughout the day. So without further ado, let's do this. So the first one that I'm going to recommend is my Burberry Cashmere foundation. I did a review on this and so many people have been showing it so much love. It's almost at 2,000 views. Thank you, thank you, thank you, grazie mille. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know if I said that right. But this is the Burberry Cashmere foundation. I did a review on this. If you have not seen it, I will link it down below. Help us get to 2,000, y'all. But this, I absolutely love this foundation. If you are oily, you are going to love this because it's literally like cashmere. It's like velvet. It's like a satin finish. It's not completely matte, but it gives you like a really nice matte feel where your skin just looks nice and rich. Obviously what you'd expect from a Burberry foundation to look like money. If you're oily, you will love this foundation simply because it's quite good at oil control. If you set your face before you like go on the rest of your makeup, you will be a-okay with this. It won't crease throughout the day, you won't have to touch up unless you're really oily. I had to just going in with like an industrial strength primer then with this, but I have not noticed any issues with oil at all. Like I would even recommend this for dry girls, I wouldn't lie. This is one of the few recommendations out of this list that I would recommend for dry girls, but you guys try this out, the Burberry Cashmere foundation, you will not regret it. Next up we have the Nars All Day Luminous Weightless foundation. Now I don't know, but I really love this foundation, but I've noticed on YouTube that some people say that it's really like 50-50, a hit or miss, or some people love it and some people don't, hate or love it. And I don't really get that. Like everybody that I talk to that uses this foundation loves it, so I don't know. Let me try and give you an unbiased review on it. I think this is amazing for oily girls because it gives you like a certain amount of glow, a certain amount of dew without like going overboard. I would say that this is a lot less cashmere satiny than the Burberry one. I think that this one is a lot more liquidy. Let me sure you can hear that. This one is a lot more liquidy and it's a lot more runny. It will definitely give you that dew, but like dew that you can control. If you set it as well, it will still allow like all the natural oils and stuff in this foundation to come through. I think it's a really nice foundation if you're oily. I think Nars did a really good job on this one, making this foundation for oily girls that will give us that dew, because that's what we long for in our lives, but obviously we can't do that because the oily bucket's a mess. That's what we are. The next one that I would recommend is the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra 24-Hour Foundation. I've noticed that a lot of dry girls try this too, so if you're dry and perhaps you just happen to be watching this video, you can also use this as well. This is nice because it's thicker in consistency than these other two foundations, but it's still going to give you great coverage. In terms of like creasing and stuff, you won't really crease a lot. It's amazing at oil control. It's amazing at oil control and overall just gives you an amazing matte finish. Like I feel like whenever girls wear this on their face just looks like an amazing blank canvas, and their face just looks so clear and it looks like you're just ready to go. You know, like when you put your concealer on, this is just gonna glide on. This is one of the first foundations that I ever bought and I will still repurchase it forever and ever and ever. I think I'm not even halfway through this one just because I've been trying out so many other foundations, obviously for you guys, so I can recommend them, but this is one of the holy grail foundations. Next up we have the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. I don't have to say much about this because this is one of the older foundations out of all the foundations that I'm going to talk about today. I think a lot of people already know that this is an amazing product. I think that this is amazing because of the full coverageness whilst remaining somewhat of a glow, whilst remaining somewhat of like a satin, like really nice finish. This one as well, when you set it with your powder, like out of this world, unreal. I love this foundation. For oily girls, you are going to love this because you won't get oily a lot through the day at all. It's good at covering up any kind of imperfections that you have on the skin. Obviously it's good to color correct as well, but let's say that you are not a fan of that. I would say that this is going to be a foundation that is just going to help to just cover everything up without acting like a mask. Like, it's not heavy at all. If you're looking for something that's full coverage, I would say this. These three foundations, although I love them, they're not as full coverage. I would say that the Lancome one is the most buildable out of these three, but this is full coverage. This is one of two of the full coverage foundations that I'm going to show you guys today, and I absolutely love it. If you love a full face, be a cake face like me, this is for you. I got you, boo. So this is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. Now, I don't really use this on its own because they don't really have a shade that matches my skin tone specifically. So I mix 112 and 111. I've already said this, but for those of you who are new to my channel, you might not know that. I've used this on its own and I just felt like it was a tiny bit too matte. But the reason I'm mentioning this in this video is because this will absolutely save any foundation that you have that is a tiny bit too oily, a tiny bit too dewy. You know, for us oily girls, it's probably best to use water-based foundations and not so much oil-based foundations. So oil-free foundations are our best friend. But let's say there's a oil-based foundation that you just really like, you really like the formula, but you just wish it was a tiny bit more matte. Now this is a lifesaver because you can mix it into any foundation and it will just help to give you that matte coverage. It just helps to make it look a bit more full coverage. It just helps with the oil control of that foundation. I call this my super secret neutralizer because it literally is that. If you're oily, this is your best friend because you can mix it with any foundation that is like more suited for girls that are more dry, or maybe it's a bit more oil based, or maybe that you notice that you get really oily with. This foundation like will save your life. I love it just for that. The 112 shade is the one I have here, and this one is the one that is quite orange. I rarely use this, but the 111 is perfect because it is yellow based. So anything that is too orange or too red, which is something that is quite common in foundations for darker skin girls, you could use the 111 to just like neutralize it, kill it, yellow it, put it on your face. Now this is my favourite foundation of life. I'm actually wearing it today. This Marc Jacobs foundation is everything and more. I did not know that this is what I needed in my life until I bought it. Mommy loves you. Mommy loves you. Now, can we just... This foundation is perfect for oily skin girl. Like, just stop this video, and if you're oily, this is the one foundation, like, on this whole entire earth that you need to get. This is it. This is it. No creasing. No oil. Stays matte forever. Stays on your face forever. They're all extremely long wearing, but I just think this one, after like a few hours, it just looks stunningly amazing. And it's not like it gets like that oil through it. It just looks like it's really settled into your skin, and I have no words for this. This is perfect foundation. It's full coverage. You really have to be careful because it's super pigmented, this foundation is. And if you've seen the dropper on it, you literally just need to use what's on here. You don't even need to dip it back in, which is why I love it, because I feel like I'm not using all the product up in there, because I do really like to use this. It's unfortunate that I had to go all the way to Paris to get this foundation, and I don't know if they sell it in the Marc Jacobs store in London, but if you guys know where I can get it in the UK, please let me know. Put it down below. This is my HG foundation. Like, I'm already thinking about my 2016 favorites, and there's no shadow of a doubt that this is gonna make it there. If you are oily, please do me a favor and buy this foundation, please. Please, por favor. Now, the last foundation, hit or miss in a sense. I think if you're oily, you have to be very careful as to how you apply this. So this is the L'Oreal True Match Foundation. I absolutely adore this foundation, but maybe because I'm oily, but I don't think I'm incredibly oily. But this foundation, I love it because it just makes your skin look so healthy. It makes it look so full of life. It is more of a dewy foundation, so if you don't set it, just be warned, you will look like an oil slick throughout the day. But I say, if you set it, just set it with minimal powder. Just dust a little bit on the top of your brush. But if you are oily and you're looking for a dewy foundation that you can like try and get away with, that you can wear, you know, in the winter months, the summer months, you probably would not be able to get away with this because it will just melt off your face. But if you're looking for something to give you that dew and that glow in the winter months, then I would absolutely recommend this. This line is amazing simply because they come in 3 different undertones. So you've got your N's, which is your neutrals, your W's, which is your warms, and you've got your C's, which is your cools. This foundation is absolutely absolutely amazing, and it's from the drugstore and it's such a good foundation. I have the shade N9 here. This is almost finished, so I probably will need to refill it, but I would absolutely recommend this if you want a bit of glow, a bit of spice in your life. So that was my top foundations for oily skin girls. I really hope that you guys have enjoyed this video, and I hope that I've been really informative for you guys. I almost was doubting myself that that was a real word there. If you guys have any foundations that you would recommend that I try out, let me know. I'm always looking for foundations. Like, I'm on a foundation kick at the moment. My next stop is concealers, because I always use my Nars or my Urban Decay, and you guys are probably getting so tired of that, but at the moment I'm trying to collect as many foundations as possible because I love them and I can't get enough and I love it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you have enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.